live and my computer goes black.
Good morning. Hello. Welcome. I'm Tiffany. And we're going to have some breakfast today. What do we call this breakfast? I don't know. It's just whatever.
Skeleton breakfast.
Skeleton breakfast. But actually, no, it's more like bats. We're having bats and Frankensteins. You know. Franken sausages. There we go. It's a little bit of everything. It's like a hot dog. But for breakfast. I'm just kidding. Anyways, let's see who's here. We got Karen, Cindy, Kay, Polly, Shirley, Diane, Tracy, Susan, Connie, Amy, Vicky, Becky, and so many more. Welcome, welcome, everybody. Today is going to be a Halloween themed table runner. Why? Because Halloween is coming, and well, you know, I'm still working on the video that I said the other day that I was making for a Halloween project, and since I'm working on that video, I cannot show you guys what I'm doing because you have to wait until I make the video. So we went and dug through my kits, and I found a kit that didn't have a pattern, but it did have a couple pieces of fabric in it that did not match. They didn't go together, which was kind of odd. So instead, Scott and I scoured the fabric room, and this was the panel that was in the kit. It's Halloween themed, and it glows in the dark. The weirdest part is right in here is a Frankenstein, right? That was not in the bag, but I just so happened to have the matching glow-in-the-dark Frankenstein in my stash. It is a Henry Glass pattern stuff, and I actually used Google. What is the word? The Google imaging searching. So you take a picture of an image, and then you just press search while on Google, and I got, oh, this is a Henry Glass panel, and I just so happen to have the matching fabric. Then what was in the kit was this green with bats on it. I'm not sure if this matches because I didn't Google any more pictures. I just wanted to find a match to the panel. So I got this green that goes with it, and then this was in the kit, so I'm assuming this is backing and binding worth. And then this was also in the kit, which is, I'm assuming, the batting for said project. So I'm going to go ahead and make something, because like I said, it was all together in a bag, but there was no instructions or what to do with it, so we're going to make something with it. So that is what we're doing. But first I need the iron on because I need to press this lovely panel. I probably should have done all that yesterday. I didn't think anything of it. Yeah, Scott could have been ironing while we were here, but go figure that I completely did not think to do that because I need this flat for me to cut it out. Wow, that does not look very square. Maybe if I stretch it a little and then have him press it or something. Stretchy, stretchy. It doesn't go that way very well. Go this way, you know. But anyways, I will tell you all the numbers that I'm cutting as I'm cutting it. I'm pretty sure these blocks on here are like, where am I at? Looks like 9 inches, but I'm going to make them a different size. Yeah, like one's 9-inch one way, 9 1/4 the other way. I don't know. But we're going to make it our own because I kind of want to use some of that orange that's around it anyway. So, yeah, it's very dusty in here.
Yeah, I know.
Like ultra dusty in here. He's a sneezing up a storm because of the dust.
Yeah, honey, look, you can look at this.
Yeah, it's very crooked. Yeah, it is a crooked panel.
Here's like 1/8 of an inch, and over here's a 1 inch.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's way crooked.
That's okay. There was probably a lot more. Here, press this and this because it says a little fold on it. There was probably a lot more pieces to this Halloween thing per panel, so maybe, I don't know. Or maybe it did only come with 3 pieces. I don't know, because I don't, I didn't create a pattern for this panel. But now I'm going to do something with it. Let's see. Well, it looks like I can go a 1/2 inch bigger than the, that's it, 1/2 inch. I'm only going to have like a little tiny itty bitty bit of this orange.
Yeah, because that one side, it's
yeah, the one side is so
way
tiny.
too short.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and start cutting a 1/2 inch around this one. Find out how big this one is, because this one looks smaller for some reason. All right, we're going to figure this out. See how big it gets from a 1/2 inch around the black. Yeah, because that's a waste of little ghosty boos. Ghosty boos. No, that's trash though. I'll measure how big it is. And then I'll be able to tell you how big it is. It is almost a 10-inch square. It's a little bit bigger. Like, it's not even 1/8 of an inch bigger. Oh, maybe it is. 10 1/8 by 10 1/8. Let's see if we can get this one to be that size. Because this one is definitely seems smaller.
10 1/8.
Yeah, 10 1/8. Go figure.
Serious? Are you really doing 10 1/8?
I'm gonna have to, because the way the panel is situated. 10 1/8. Yeah, I'm serious. Okay, that one's not even exact. Why? Because it can't be. The panel piece is crooked. Let's make sure. Let's see what this is. At a 1/2 inch. 10 1/8. There we go. Okay. Oh my goodness. I guess these pieces can just go in my string bin. All right, let's see if this one's 10 1/8. Yep, exact. All right, next. Oh man, this one is so wonky. Whoo-wee. How's everybody doing today? Me, I'm tired. I want to go back to bed. Can I go back to bed? I'm going to stretch and press this real quick, because it's like super wonky. I know, but I had to stretch it out real quick. All right, let's try that again. It's still so wonky. Woo-wee. I'm using my previous cut to determine a nice straight line. Oh look, it's landing on 10 1/8 though, whether the panel piece was crooked or not. Okay, there's that. Now let's do from my lovely Frankensteins. Nice and lined up. I'm going to cut 2 3-inch. Like I said, it's a Henry glass fabric. I don't know the exact name. I pulled it up on Google last night, but here's the panel pieces. It's got ghosts, house with ghosts, and here's Mr. Frankenstein that goes with the line, but I don't have any of the other matching fabric, but that's okay. This will still be fun. Okay, we're gonna line these up with some strip pieces. So I'm going to go ahead and cut 3. 10. I'm trying to think of 10. 1, 2, 3. So that'd be 2.5, 4. I'm trying to make a 10-inch square that goes around it. So we'll do like next to it, you know. Let's do 3-inch. Yeah. Let's do 3-inch. Trying to think about this in my head. Let's do a second 3-inch strip. And then 2 3-inch strips. Let's cut from this one. Line it up. Make a nice straight line. I'm trying to think right now, I'm doing math that I don't do very well. 3, 6, 9. No, that would have to be 4. I have to have a 4-inch center. Okay. Right. My brain. Sorry. Thinking here. So 1, 2, 3, 6 minus half. That's 5.5. All right. I can just go over there because
I'll take it.
all right. And then we need a center, which can be, I need another Halloween fabric that goes with all this. Or should I just keep with the Frankensteins?
What are you trying to do? Where's your little picture thing?
Oh, no. I'm going to make
You're
a
not doing
square. No,
that? Oh, you're not doing that at all no more?
no.
Oh.
Well, yeah, but no. It needs to be 4, 5, 6.5, 7, 8.5. No, that's not right. It needs to be 5, 6. We'll just cut 6 and build around it, cut it in half, and hope that it works.
What fabric would you like?
Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 5.5. Yeah, I need another fabric. Let me grab another Halloween themed fabric here.
These glow-in-the-dark guys might fit. They have a lot of oranges, but I don't know which orange.
Orange polka dot.
It's a little dark. It's dark orange.
Oh, no, okay.
This light splatty one is the closest.
How about big bats?
It's too dark of an orange. That's why I said the splatty one is the closest.
No, it's not. Too dark. Sorry, guys, I'm choosing something real quick. How about this one?
Oh, I didn't even notice that one. Yep.
That one's closest. We'll put this one on. Okay. This is me building as I think, is what I'm going to do here. 6, 7.5, 8, 9.5. Nope, it could be 2.5. 3-inch. It could be 3-inch. Trying to make a 10-inch square. We'll cut 2 3-inches. See what happens. Okay. And this just get moved out of my way. I'm going to make 3 strip units. I mean 2 strip units with 3 pieces in each. That's what I'm going to do. I'm gonna make sure this is a 1/4-inch seam real quick.
Do you want me to get those white ghosties and add some white into it? Those would go with it.
Oh man, that would work, huh?
Yeah, those are glow in the
There.
dark, just like Frankenstein.
Yeah, you know what? Grab them. They're right on the ironing board in the other room.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna sew these two together, and then these can just go in my stash. So I'm sewing 3-inch strips together.
I don't know if that white, does that match?
Yep, it matches good enough. And then I'm gonna cut 3-inch strips off of here. All right.
Do you want me to iron that quick?
No, it's very crooked, so I'm just gonna cut a straight edge. Let's see. Wow, that is so crooked right there. These aren't the same exact ghosts, but it'll work. I'm gonna cut a 3-inch strip. And another 3-inch strip. And then you can press this one because it's gonna have a lip on it. I'm gonna need it on in like 2 seconds anyway.
Well, it's complicated. You see it coming up.
All right. Let's move this ghosty fabric out of the way. All right, let me sew these two together.
The glow in the dark.
All right, so now I'm gonna press these and then add the white to it. Oh, I didn't mean press the whole strip, but sure.
Well, I pressed the seams into that one, so I had to open it up. So this one I just was smart ahead of time. I don't screw it
All
up.
right, guys, 2 seconds while I keep these strip units super flat real quick. Because I don't have enough space on my ironing board at the moment because my secret video project is on the ironing board.
Secret.
It's a secret. You're not allowed to see it until I finish the video, which is taking a lot longer than normal. It's not going to be a long video, but it's definitely going to be a lot of effort to quilt. Is that a word? A lot of effort to quilt. A quilt that takes a little more work than normal.
What color thread is that?
What color thread am I using? Gray.
Gray, right?
Yeah, it's a gray. All right, now to add my ghost. I'm going to add it on the other side of this green. Oh wow, this is like way short. Look at that. You see?
Sorry.
It's okay. We'll make it work.
Do we need to add more ghosts on? Because that's a huge chunk you'd have to cut off.
No, it's okay. The excess can just go in my scrap drawer. And those that are new to my channel and didn't know, I can continuously sew strip pieces. It's very easy to do. Once you get used to it, and it's better to have a seam guide. Actually, I can just use this as border or something.
Yeah. You already cut the pieces.
Yeah, I already cut it, so I might as well. Oh, this is not going to be. All right, make this nice and flat. Lay it right there. Try not to bow anything.
Can we turn the camera back? See on it? Hopefully
No.
not this time because we're already done. But maybe next time.
Not really, because I don't want them to see what I'm working on.
You ain't gonna see nothing there. All that's mounted on top of each other.
All right, what I'm going to do is lay these right here. Place that over there and grab a drink of water. Let's see if this is going to work. I need a strip tube ruler. Let's see, what size does this go to? Oh, this only goes to 9.5.
Do you need me to grab me a different one?
And no, I'm just going to do it by eyeballing. That one's huge. Hold on, I'm going to go grab my 10.5-inch ruler real quick from my other room. I have all this stuff just separated all over the place. Sorry, guys. I have a 10.5 in this room, so I might as well use it. Oh, this isn't going to be tall enough, is it? Let's see.
Will that work?
No, because that's just 10 inches, so no, that's not going to work.
So do you need to use the real big one then?
Nope, I'm going to grab the 12.5-inch ruler. Twelve and a half will do. All right. I grabbed a 12.5-inch ruler. All right. I'm going to line these up on top of each other. Like this. Looks equal, looks equal, looks equal. There we go. And I'm going to take my 12.5-inch ruler and I'm going to line it up to where my, let's see, what is half of this? This was on the point. Oops, let's lay it so I can get a number here. Need to lay it on 10 1/8. Oh my goodness, that's a number. I'm just going to put 10 1/4. So I'm putting the 10 1/4 inch mark on both sides of this. there, right there. And I'm going to cut triangle there and a triangle there. So here's 2 triangles. And then I have to skip because I need the white to be on the outside. So I'm going to do that again. 10 1/4 right there. Oops, I put the ruler wrong again. 10 1/4 right there. 10 1/4 right there. And then I pieced all that for this. All right. Give me 2 seconds. Let's figure this out. That over there. Lay this here. This here. Oh, let's do that house on the inside. That house can go in the middle. Well, they're all a house.
Yeah, but the black goes in between purple.
That's going to go there. That's going to go there.
Oh, I see what you did.
Here. And here. And I'm wondering if I do, I won't be able to get 2 more. But I could have the, no, there's not enough for that. There's enough white for me to cut a piece of white at the end. Or just directly border it with this. All right, I'm going to put this together and then we'll figure out the next step. So I'm putting it like this, on point.
Hold on, let me quick show them what it looks like so far.
So these are 10 1/8, which I could probably trim down to 10 and be just fine. And then these were 3 3-inch pieces, but I cut it to 10 1/4. So it's not going to be exactly straight right here, but I can trim these down. I really don't care at this moment because either way I'm going to be adding a border. So if I have just a little tiny poking triangle out, then I should be fine. So I'm going to go ahead and attach these. On the corner. I'm going to press it towards the panel. Place that one here. So the next.
My machine started randomly skipping stitches. What's wrong?
Your machine started randomly skipping stitches. Well, I would unthread it, rethread it, check your bobbin by taking it out completely and putting it back in properly. Even if it wasn't improper, you know what I mean? Just put it back in. And then change the needle, clean the bobbin area. If all else fails, the tension could be off on your bobbin case area, depending on your machine. Mine, I can adjust. If you have the drop-in bobbin, one of the dials should be the tension. I'm not sure which dial it is, but there's a dial on some machines. I had one on an old machine that was for the bobbin. All right, so this was row 2. And if all else fails, take it to a shop because it could be timing, and timing is hard to do. All right, and then this one's going to get attached to this. Now I'm going to press all 3 of these real quick, nicely and flat before I start attaching them together. I'm going to try not to distort anything. So there's one row. You could have. I like to do this myself.
Okay.
Number 2, and then number 3. Okay. Now I'm going to hook this one to this one and this one to this one. It's always best to, when you do something on point, to lay it back out in the position that it was. I'm going to nest that seam. They should be going in opposite directions because I press towards the panel, not towards anything else. Stay. All right, I'm going to go ahead and press this towards that panel. And the upper piece here.
Oh, that's looking pretty cool.
All right, now to add the next piece.
Looking pretty cool.
So I gotta line this up just right. There we go, right there. I probably could have cut this at 10 and a half and it would have been better than 10 and a quarter, but you know what? Just making things up anyway. All right. Actually, this could just be turned into a wall hanging or something. No, it could be a table runner. This is what I got
Originally a table runner.
so far.
Here, I can take the flag now.
No, just leave it. I'm going to take it down right now. I'm just trying to figure out what I want to, if I want to take this, I only have enough to do 2 corners. I'd have to make another strip unit. But
Those pieces
I'm
can't
out
be used
of
for
the,
anything?
I'm out of the green.
Those pieces can't be used?
No. I mean, they can, but I think that would look dumb having that first on one side. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I can with this right here, but I'm only going to get 1 more out of it.
Well, then what would be the point? You need 4.
Yep, and I ran out of the green. I probably should have cut that at 2.5 and the other number's bigger.
Yeah, you have tons of this white with the ghosts. You could just go around it with the orange. Or the ghosts.
No, I'm going to go around it with the orange. So I need to cut 1 more 3-inch strip off of that. There we go. That'll be what I finish it with. I think that'll look fine. 1 more 3-inch strip off of this. All right, what I'm going to do is add a 3-inch strip here, here, and then 2 sides, and then it'll still be shaped like it'll still have a tippy point.
Diagonal. Diamond.
A 60-degree or whatever. All right. Hang it over and do 1. There's a dog ear right there. I don't feel like cutting it off. All right, I'm going to attach one to the other side. Kind of glad I had all this extra Halloween fabric to do what I wish with. Oh, gotta change the bobbin. All right. Oh, no, no. I almost sewed that folded. Whew.
You've been picking it out.
All right, let me press this and we'll add 2 sides. This is probably going to be a lot wider than my backing fabric that I had in this lovely little kit, but I will grab something else and have backing fabric. And then another piece of batting for the inside. All right. Now I'm going to cut this side and then attach it to the side, and then cut the other side and attach it to that side. It should be the right size. So I'm just going to line this up, cut it nice and straight, and then I'm going to attach it right here. Move that out of the way, and then I'll cut the other side and attach it, and then press. All right, cut this side. I like to just build as I go kind of thing. This is so much fun to me, you know, just making things up and building as I go. All right, I'm going to press and then trim and then add the one more side. And then this table topper or whatever will be almost done. Okay, so now I'm going to cut this end off and this end off because there's still hangies on both sides. So I'm going to start with this one down here. I'm using the block right here as a line and the block right here as a line to get my straight corner. Scraps, and then I have a corner right here to cut off. I'm going to line this up on the 45 right there. Cut that off. Do the same with all of this side. 45, straight line. There. Then these two. Okay. Now, these. Last. Right here. When you're making something on the diagonal, though, it wants to fall and yank. Got to make sure it's laying on the table. Now, while it's still attached, I'm literally just going to turn it to this side. Scrunch it up, lay it over here. Cover my end there, and cover this end right here. Leaving everything still attached. Why? Because I can. Alright, I'm going to trim one side, then take it over to the iron and make everything nice. And then we'll see where we're at. Okay. Oh, this looks cool. All right. I'm going to trim this nice and straight, nice and straight. Everything looks good. Cut the selvage off. Come to this side, make it nice and straight. And I have a table runner.
Hey, I would have helped.
I'm going to put it
Diagonal?
right here. There is my table runner.
That is so cool.
Wasn't that simple? Like super cinch. But we're going to just out there loudly. I'm going to change the numbers for you so it works out a little bit better. Make your center squares 10 inches. Screw that whole 10 and an eighth, right? So 10, 10, 10. Then your strip unit is 3 inches, second 3 inches, third 3-inch strip. Okay, so all 3-inch strips together. And then when you cut it with your giant ruler, you're going to cut it at 10 and a half instead of 10 and a quarter. That way you don't lose the points off of your 10-inch squares. Okay, so 10, 10, 10, 3, 3, 3, sew them together, cut on the line, you know what I mean, into a 10 and a half inch half triangle, and then you get 4 of them from 2 strip sets, 4 of your half triangles, and then border it with a 3-inch strip all the way around. Like super simple, right? Now let's see if I actually have enough batting and backing for this. Because it came with what it came with, and well, nope, not enough. But we can border it with Halloween fabric and make it big enough. He's going to come close, by the way. The camera is moving. Let's see how many inches I need that to be. A lot bigger than that. This right here. All right, it is exactly 19 inches. How wide is this? 17. So I need 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm just going to put 3 inches on each side of that. And then it needs to be 49. This is definitely not no 49. say from here. Yeah, that's 43. All right, so we're going to go around this panel, this piece of fabric. I'm going to go 3 inches on both sides because we're just going to quilt it right here on the sit-down machine. All right, let's put something. I'm just going to use this orange. Why? Because I have more of it. Actually, no, let's just use the ghosts. Who cares?
Yeah.
I'm just
Maybe
making
that's
it.
just the white. It's for the back, right?
Yep, it's just for the back.
They can flip it around if they want because the ghosts glow in the dark. So
They don't glow in the dark. They're metallic. Not metallic.
I thought they glowed.
No, they don't glow. They change colors. See?
Okay.
What's that word for it? I don't even know the word I'm looking for, but
Change color.
they just change colors. I'm going to do 4 inches just to be on the safe side. So I need, what did I say that was? That was like 17 inches. Well, that does not equal 3. And one more.
Iridescent.
Iridescent. There we
Is that
go.
what you're looking for?
That is a word. Sorry, sometimes words don't come to me. I'm pretty sure everybody out there knows that I have struggles with finding words. All right, I'm going to hook all these together and border this as if I was just throwing a border around something. Only because, remember, these were kind of short. So it's kind of weird. It was like super short compared to most fabrics. But that's okay. I will sew them all end to end and just border out this piece of fabric. No harm. Since this is back, I am back stitching these pieces together so that nothing falls apart, because you can't pay attention to the back side when you're quilting the top side. All right, snippity snip, and start sewing it on. Oh, I should probably trim this properly real quick. Didn't even think to do that. Make it nice and straight. There. It's not really Halloween fabric per se, but
It was in the bag.
it was in the bag with the stuff that had no pattern. All right, I'm gonna cut. This is a Free Spirit fabric, by the way. It's called Shark's Teeth.
Ah, that fits.
The selvage was on the piece that I'm cutting right now. All right, now let's put all this on here. I don't really care which order I do it. I'm just going to get it on here. All right, one side. Another side, if I can find the end. There it is. pretty sure this would be a nice, cute little table runner. All right, let me press these real quick and then add the two sides.
We still have this ghost fabric left. I thought we used it up.
No, I'm going to use it for these.
Okay.
I'm going to put it all up in there.
There you go.
Yep. There's going to be 3 Halloween projects this month, probably. This one that I'm currently working on, the one that I'm currently working on a video for, and then another video. Everyone always asks for Halloween stuff, so I'm doing Halloween. All right, let me see where this seam lands down here. You know I don't like seams to land at the edge. Okay, good. That drives my brain nuts. You know, once I do all 3 of these Halloween projects, I won't have any Halloween fabric left besides the one kit that I have.
Yeah.
It's actually not a kit, it's just a bundle that goes together that I put together myself that of the same fabrics. So I don't have the whole complete collection, but I've been saving them. It's panels and border fabric and all sorts of just wildness. It'll probably go into next year's, you know, let's make it next year thing. But hey, at least I'm getting Halloween stuff done, which is a, you know, one of those recommended things. Halloween, Christmas, and fall themed are the most commonly asked for requested type videos. Did you know that? All right. Oh yeah, I cut plenty. Good. Whew. I'm glad, because it didn't seem like it would be long enough because these pieces were a little bit shorter than most fabric. All right, press this, and then we can get some batting and turn this into a table runner. Because I doubt the piece of batting that I have is big enough. That was in the kit, I mean. But I could always make a quilt as you go with it. Which is always fun. All right, one more side to press. Ouch. Hopefully this is long enough. All right, let's see. Oh man, it's exactly long enough. Okay, now to take this, we need some batting. I doubt this is tall enough. Nope, we're going to cut a piece of batting for this. And I don't even need to bind it. Honestly, I can just do the flippy method. Two seconds, guys, while I find a nice chunk of.
That batting too small?
No, this is probably perfect.
No,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
that
This
piece
one's
that
too
came with
small.
it? Well, that's because you made totally different.
Yeah. Move that out of the way. Move that out of the way. Move that out of the way. Lay this down, and I'm going to put the table runner on top of it.
Oh. Remember, this is
Yeah, I know.
screwed up hunk.
That's fine. I'm cutting it to size anyway.
I got that.
I'm putting it on upside down. Why? Because I'm going to sew it all together. Smooth this on here. All right, I'm going to cut this real quick. Oops. And look, I have another table runner's worth of batting here. This is what I love about having scraps left over from
that one over here with this one. I'll measure it when we're done.
quilting. I don't measure the little ones.
Oh, okay.
All right, I'm going to turn it this way, and I'm going to cut this whole entire thing. Smooth it, smooth it, smooth it. About an inch bigger all the way around. Smooth that back out. And that side's already about an inch bigger. Okay. Now I need, actually no, this one goes this way because it goes right sides together with this. Oh man, I'll just do it like this because I might be able to see through that. Sorry guys. Right sides together with this. The batting goes on the outside. Move it back on here. Hope that I can see through what I'm doing. Nice and smooth. I'm going to take it to the iron real quick and smooth it more, and then I'll lay the other piece on top of it, right sides together. Like I said, I don't have much ironing board space right now. Get this as flat as I possibly can. I definitely don't like when it puckers. When I'm doing that flippy mode. Okay. I probably should have put the whatchamacallit down first. Yeah, but I can see the edge of the quilt through the fabric. About right there. Nope. Let's center it.
Yeah, you need to make sure you're covering both the points because that side's not covering the end.
Yeah, it's literally right at the edge. It's covering the end.
Oh, okay. What didn't look like it?
Literally gonna lay this right here, centering it on all the points so that I know it is center. Right. Try that again. Oops. Stop. This fabric is like sticking to itself. Smooth it, smooth it, smooth it. Smooth it. Let's make sure We got some pins in here.
Whoa, Tiff is pinning.
It's a miracle.
I better record this.
Hold on. It's not center still. Just stay where I put you. I would use safety pins, but I'm not in the mood. And I can see the table runner in between. Normally you would lay this fabric down first with the batting behind this, and then your quilt top on top of it. But I'm not going to be able to line the quilt top up with the batting properly if I don't do it this way. So I'm just going to do it this way, which is fine. As long as it's nice and smooth, that's all that matters. Okay, this is not nice. Stay flat.
You could spray some starch on it when the person said.
I could starch it, yeah.
Might get it to stick better for you.
No, it's fine. I'll be fine. It'll do good. It'll be good. Just smoothing it out as I go. I always make stuff like this work, whether it's perfect or not, you know. I figure it out and make it work. Ow, that was my finger. All right. Here we go. There. This there. Pins back over here. And I'm going to very carefully, like, stitch around the quilt top. But I'm going to leave an opening. And I know you say you can't see the quilt top. I can see it. It's sticking through this white fabric pretty good. So I'm just going to use it as the guide. And everything's nice and smooth. Just sewing a 1/4 inch.
Bill said he just got an alert from YouTube that you're pinning and he needs to watch.
All right, I'm going to put my
such
needle
a rare
down.
Thing, you pin.
Yeah, it is very rare that I pin.
Oh.
I'm going to pivot.
Should I bring the camera over there closer?
No, it's fine. Right there. Pivot. I totally cannot see through this one section, so I'm doing my best to line it up. So if it's not perfect, you know what? I don't care. As long as it's done, that's all that matters. Keeping it flat. Needle down, pivot. Oh, I started on that side, good. Woo-wee! I thought I was sewing it and not leaving my opening.
It's okay, honey. You got this. You get at it. You're a smart cookie.
Oh. Hold on, I think this went off a little right here. There we go. That looks better. All right. And then I'm going to leave myself an opening so that I can turn the whole thing about right here. So I'm going to stop right there. That should be good. All right. I'm going to remove the pins, and then I'm going to just cut a 1/4 inch away from my stitching. So without stabbing myself 500 times, I'm going to get these pins out of here.
Move your hand away from the pins then. Move your hand. I'm gonna end up stabbing you.
All right. Assuming that I've got the whole thing, which I'm pretty sure I did because I can see the orange all the way around, I'm now going to trim this up and then flip the whole thing. Woohoo! Look at that, almost done. Again, I'm just trimming about a 1/4 inch away from my stitching. I still have to quilt it.
I know, I'm just saying.
All right, like I said, just about a 1/4 inch from my, I'm gonna get all the corners real quick. How about I do that?
Oh, big extra hunk there.
Oh. There. Get all these corners off of here. That's a line right there. One more corner. All right, now to do the sides. Here we go. All right. Side. Okay. What I always do on these is I clip away the corners before I flip it out. So I'm just clipping up to the stitching, but not the stitching, because they're easier to poke out. And since I back stitched in all the corners, it should be good.
So hold on, you clip each one because what, you don't want a sharp point there?
No, I do want a sharp point. The extra fabric doesn't give you a sharp point. You have to get rid of the excess fabric or else it's going to bunch up in the corner.
Oh. I did not know that.
You don't want it to bunch up in the corner. All right.
Okay.
Find opening and flip out. And when I say flip out, I'm probably going to flip out if it's not straight. Shove it all in. Shake it up.
Shake it up, baby.
Grab a shank. And poke out the corners on this side. Come on, right there. I want it nice and pointy. As pointy as I can get it. You know, if you want it super pointy, you can take string, like a embroidery floss, and sew it into the corner, you know, before you flip it so that it's sticking out on the side, and then when you go to flip everything, all your corners, you just pull them out with the embroidery floss and then pull it through. I watched this like tips and tricks thing like a couple weeks ago. I was like, oh, I should try that. Well, I didn't do it, obviously, because I didn't remember till just now when I'm pointing these out, but to get sharper points, you just use the embroidery floss or whatever into your seam. I think it was on one of those like 5-minute crafts videos or something. Come on. Ooh, a nice crisp corner. One more, some more right here. All right. Next step is to take it to the iron, and I am going to make this seam flush. So I'm going to roll it flat and make it flush. Usually, it's best if you just stick, where's my opening? Stick your hand back in there and take your point, and run it along the edge to push it out like this. But most times I just fold at the iron. I find it just the same, honestly, but you can use the pointing thing to push the whole entire seam out first. That way when you go to press it, it lays flatter. I'm going all the way around just so you guys can see that this is how it's. Nice and flush. Can you plug the iron back in? Because I'm going to go to it in a second.
Yeah.
Okay, and then right here.
I didn't know you would.
And then along this edge. All right. Now I'm going to iron it.
Where'd you get your shank?
My shank is a no name. I'm pretty sure it was in like a Sew Sampler box or something. But this is a no name one. All right, I'm going to go to the iron now and press all this out. So if he wants to turn the camera, he can. Because my project for Halloween is covered up, sort of. See, I just use my fingers like this and roll it so that the seam is directly in between the two fabrics. And then I just take the iron to it. I have no idea. It's not called a shank, it's called a Hera marker. The actual word for it is called Hera marker. So if you Google it, you can see what and where to get them. But they make all sorts of different ones, but it's technically a Hera marker. Yes, oh yeah.
Shoot, SewingMachinesPlus probably still.
So I'm just rolling this, making sure that it's out flat. I'm going to get the one whole side, and then I'll turn it and get the other whole side. Because my opening is right here, and I need to be able to fold that out properly, which I'll show you. So the goal is to have no white showing from the front and no orange showing from the back, which is not always going to be perfect, but press this. Half of it's pressed. I'm just going to flip it around. Here's my opening. So I'm going to take this top layer, this top piece, not the backing fabric yet. Actually, I'm going to do the backing fabric first because we're literally right here. I'm going to fold that backing fabric in 1/4 of an inch. Very carefully use the tip of the iron and just fold it 1/4 of an inch all the way down. Ta-da! And then the top and the batting are going to stay together 1/4 inch also. Fold it over. I'm going to make sure that it's level with all of this. And then just fold it and press it to where it's equal all the way down. Right about there. Because we're going to stitch all the way around this whole entire thing anyway, to seal around the corner so that it never rolls out again. It's looking good. Let's roll that a little bit better. All right, I'm going to finish going the rest of the way around. Just rolling it with my fingers because I didn't push it out good enough with the hair marker or my shank. I like to call it shank because that's what it looks like. It looks like some prison-made shank thing because, you know, you watch those movies and that's what it looks like.
Yeah.
It looks exactly like it. I even have a wood one that looks exactly like it too, like when they take and find a piece of wood on the ground in the prison or something and bam, they turn it into a shank. I literally, that's why I call them that. Okay, let's make sure that's super flat the rest of the way. And look at that, guys. I didn't even have very much bunching. This actually turned out pretty good, even though I couldn't see because I put the one piece on the top instead. Usually put the backing fabric on top of the batting, but I pre-cut the batting to size, so it's the only reason why mine is just a smidgen different. Okay, mine should be super flat and ready to stitch. My opening is right here on this side. Just gonna fix that a little bit more. Go. That way when I go to seal it with an 1/8 of an inch stitch, it'll land great. The back side's nice and flat. Look at that. It came out good. I guess that's what I get if I actually pin stuff. Nice flat stuff. I hate pinning. I really do. Well, sometimes it's needed. All right, let's go back to the sewing machine and we're going to stitch this closed now. Let me find my opening. It's on this side, I think. Yep, right there. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to switch to black thread because I think it will look better. So I have a giant spool of Quilter's Select thread, which I have no idea where it's purchased from because I bought it from another person who had tons of thread. But you can get black thread anywhere. Snip that apart. Pull that down here because I need to roll a bobbin first. Because I apparently used up all of my black bobbins. When I was looking in the drawer, I was like, where did they all go? Well, I used them all. I usually have white, black, and gray pre-wound. A lot of it too, but yesterday I went for some and there was none there. It's like, whatever, I'll just use gray thread. All right, this is going to be fun. We're going to quilt right here, which I don't like to do, but we're going to do it anyway. So I'm not much of a sit-down person. But we're just going to do lines anyway, so it's not going to matter. All right, swap this to black thread. All right, this is going to end up off the table because it's going to be pushed off. As long as it doesn't break.
No, it didn't break. You just told me after I grabbed it, though.
Oh, yeah. It seems as if everything that's on the desk right here, if I have too much, as soon as I start to do something with a quilt, it starts pushing everything off, and then it's end up on the floor anyway. So I might as well just put it on the floor in the first place, and then it'd be good. And either way, I have to clean everything off the floor, so it's not any big deal. As long as I don't step on it, because I did throw a ruler down there. But it goes in the other room anyway. All right, starting with my opening. I'm going to change my stitch length to a 3. When I sit down quilting here, I like my stitch length at a 3. So I'm going to go ahead and go 1/8 of an inch from the edge all the way around. I'm going to seal my opening first, though. And I'm going to go slow because I don't want shifting or puckering, because I'm not using a walking foot. I really don't want to. I don't see the need. If you go slow enough, it should be good. And now I'm just going to continue. Now my opening is closed, I'm going to continue all the way around. I'm going to get to the point and then pivot.
Pivot.
Pivot. Pivot.
It's a line for friends.
I'm not pulling, tugging, or stretching anything. I'm just letting it go under the foot. No, back. Right. I'm using my elbow to hold this up because it wants to yank and you don't want your stuff to yank, so it's better to have it flat, but it's hard to get it flat when you're going on a diagonal. All right, let me clip my starting thread. Come on, snippies. My snips are starting to get really dull. And then I'm going to stitch about 1.5 inches from my starting, pull it away, snip the thread. And now I have gone around the whole entire outer perimeter, sealing it shut as well as giving it that decorative stitch. Now I'm going to go on the inside of this border all the way around. And I'm going to just very carefully, like I said, because I'm not using a walking foot, I'm going to try to stitch in the ditch, but I can never stitch in the ditch, so it's probably going to be near the ditch. Just going to go slow. This is not my normal speed, but I can manage.
Everyone commenting, you're pinning, you're going slow, and you're...
Yep, pinning, going slow,
Quilting
and quilting while sitting down, which is killing my shoulders already. Woo.
They're all saying, where'd Tiffany go? I said it's invading the body.
Yeah, it's a Halloween thing. It's a magic trick. I'm a totally different person right now. I'm kind of slightly pulling the seam open, just like slightly making sure that I'm getting in that ditch or next to that ditch. I'm not really trying to distort anything, but I want it to land in the ditch. I feel like I'm going so slow. If I would have put the free motion foot on here, then I probably would have been able to go faster. But I just wanted straight line quilting on this because it's cute just the way it is, you know? I didn't want to have to go through everything.
Beautiful. Whoever gets that will love it. It is awesome.
There. Where did I even start? I can't tell because this is black thread on black fabric. What?
Plus the Frankenstein.
Oh, right there.
Dark, so it's gonna be cool no matter what.
Oh yeah. Plus this all glows in the dark. The Frankensteins glow in the dark, and the panels glow in the dark.
Yeah, the ghosts on the panel.
Yeah. I probably should show you guys if it once it's when we come to the end of the video. You can turn the lights off and see how well it's seeable. I'm pretty sure these Frankensteins are really seeable. All right, there's that starting thread. There it is, right there. I'm going to lift the thread up. That's why I left a long tail, so I can see where I am. I'm going to cross it over to the side. That way I know. There we go. Coming up to it. I'll stitch past it about an inch. Lift it up. Step away my starting thread and the new one. All right. Now I'm going to stitch this right here on all of these. And that's it. That's all the stitching I'm going to, well, actually, no, I'll stitch in this stitch and this stitch too. So let me turn it this way. Well, actually, it's probably easier to do it this way first. All right, let's move all this because it's going to get knocked down. Start, back stitch. Keep my tail so I know where I am and have been. I can just cross. That's what I can do. Make a crisscross.
Can I move the camera on that side so they can see you sewing?
I guess.
Well, no one asked. I'm just asking what you think.
Nah. So I'm going to go to this corner, and then I'm going to cross straight down, and you know, that's how I'm going to do it. 2 stitches to go there.
What do you think would have glow-in-the-dark panels?
I don't know. Everywhere should have some kind of glow-in-the-dark panels. All right, I'm going to snip this, and then I'm going to start right here now on this side and cross my X over this way. I'm also going to take a drink. start right here. Back stitch. Attempt to stay in the ditch. One stitch, 2 stitches this way. Oh, 3. Look at that. And then this. When I top stitch like this, I always pull the tail away because when you use the thread cutter on this machine, it leaves this little like hangy thing on the bottom, and I don't want those. So, all right, now I'm going to stitch in this triangle stitches, and then that on 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 4 again, and then that's it. I have the bottom still connected, but that's okay. I'll disconnect it when I get this stitched. Okay. Now to finish it up with these, and then I'll be done. Oops, I used the thread cutter. Ah, man. Now I gotta find where those little tiny tails are. It's bad habits, that whole thread cutter thing on this machine. I literally use it constantly, so. I try to pretend that I'm not, putting my foot on the pedal there, but my brain keeps wanting to. And last one. Can you turn the iron on though so that I can give this a quick flattening?
Yep.
All right, now I'm just going to snip away all this extra thread on this whole entire thing because they're all connected, but that is easy because then I can just grab the thread like this and disconnect everything. When you free motion quilt, you can do that too. That way you have all the tails that you can just grab them and snip them. Makes it easier, at least in my mind it does. All right, I'm gonna run my hand across the whole thing and find more threads. Oh, there's another one right there. Oh, no, that was just already cut. I get it all? Nope, got one right here. Yeah. All right, let me put all this right here. I'm gonna give this a quick press because all the stitching kind of just like.
It's not coming up. So I get you good.
top threads. Oops, I forgot to disconnect these. Duh. Brain fart. Oh, more right there. More right there. Any more? Oh, yep, nope, that wasn't connected. Oh, there's one more right there. Two more right there. That one's gone. That one's gone. Okay, all done. All right, I'm gonna flatten this real quick, a little bit better, even though it's pretty flat. I'm just giving it a once over.
Yeah, but put it up on the wall.
And then you guys can see my less than 2 hour project.
It's only an hour and a half.
Yeah. All right, give me a second. I found another thread while I was pressing.
Are you done with the sewing machine?
I'm done with the iron and the sewing machine,
Yeah,
yes.
let's turn the sewing machine off. We'll turn on the lights off.
All right, we're going to turn everything off. I'm going to lay this on the table and tilt the camera down. Let me let it get enough light for a second.
You turn the sewing machine?
Yep. All right, let me tilt the camera down and we're going to see how much of the glowing that we can see once the lights are off. 1, 2, 3, go.
Oh, look at that. The ghosts and the Franks glow. I don't know how well it shows on the camera, though.
It's not showing the camera. Oh, man, this sucks.
The camera's not showing any of it, is it?
Nope. Man, this thing is really glowing. It
Well,
glows.
it glows here.
So all this
Yeah,
is
it's
glowing
black right
around here. This is all glowing right here. Then all the little stuff is glowing in all this. So it looks really cool.
The ghosts, especially in
Man, that really sucks that you can't see. I hate that you can't see glow in the dark on camera. So you're just going to have to take my word for it. It looks really awesome. So there's my finished table runner. Let's look at the back side. Is there another thread? Did I just see a thread? No, am I just tripping?
Before anybody buys it.
And there's the back side. You can see it's not perfect. It's a little bit bigger right here and gets skinny, and then it's a little bit bigger right here and gets skinny, but there's a little sharp point of the ghosts at the end, which kind of goes good with the fact that there's 2 points right here. I wonder if they're the same size. Nope, it's a little bit bigger, but isn't that cute?
Oh, it is cool.
And it came out really flat. So there it is. Let me explain it one more time. 10-inch square, because I did 10 and 1/8. You can do 10-inch square, 10-inch square, 10-inch square. 2 sets of 3-inch strips. So 2 sets of 3-inch, 3-inch, 3-inch. And then you make another strip set, 3-inch, 3-inch, 3-inch. I know it's a little bit of a waste, but unless you want, just do one and do the opposite on the ends. But I think that would look really weird. So you can make more than one table runner if you want, but 3-inch, 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 cut it into 10.5-inch triangles, connect them so that you don't lose these points right here. You won't lose any of those points along the edge if these are 10.5-inch triangles. And then this is a 3-inch border all the way around. And then it came out $18.25 by, from point to point, 47.5. It's not bad. That actually looks really cool. Perfect size. So there we have it. Lovely. I like it. And I like that it glows, but obviously you guys can't see that. I really thought the camera would show it.
So did I.
You know, like, seriously, what's wrong with you, camera? If I put a black light on it right now, then you'd really see where the glowing actually comes from.
The black light would show more stuff.
Yeah, the black light would show off more because the green and the bats would glow too under a black light.
Yeah. These ghosties here would glow.
Yeah.
These little guys.
Everything would glow. It might stay.
It will.
There we go.
I
Ta-da!
know it will. I have faith.
And look at that. All done. I tried to figure out something that I can do in a 2-hour time period, and it was done before 2-hour time period. So that's a good thing. Anyways, any questions or anything? Because then I could just go ahead and get off of here a little bit early so that I can go eat, because I'm kind of hungry.
Yeah, an MS question earlier. Your one arm stops working, but your other one still works fine. Go to the doctor.
Oh, yeah. When I've had MS problems, I'll just kind of talk about medical for 2 seconds. I do have a video where my arm wasn't working and neither was my leg very well. I mean, it was kind of, but it wasn't. And it was kind of like floppy. It's best to go to the doctors. I've had the whole entire lower half of my body go completely numb and I don't feel it, almost like a paraplegic. And it lasted for 3 years. Obviously, you got to go to the doctor. You got to get your medications adjusted if you're on any DMDs for your, MS or anything else, because they have disease-modifying drugs for rheumatoid arthritis and lupus and all that other kind of stuff, So get your doses correct, make sure everything's good, and then, But if it just randomly happens, it's best to go to your neurologist because it could be something else. If it's not a nerve-related, it could be you pinched something, and that's it. So,
Any thoughts on patchwork singer machine?
any thoughts on patchwork singer machine? I don't know what that is. I know a singer machine, but I didn't know they were called patchwork singer machines. So, I don't know. I don't know nothing about other machines, honestly. All right, guys. Well, the next episode of Breakfast at Tiffany's will be in 2 weeks from now, and
Sunday will be.
Sunday is Breakfast at Tiffany's. I mean,
No,
so
Sunday
Sunday is Sunday. So Sunday is Sunday. Sunday is so Sunday. Woof.
That's
And
when you
then
see them again.
when I get done with the video that I'm currently recording, it's taking longer than I thought. Like I said, then you guys will see that. But it's Halloween related. Okay, it's gonna be put out in the month of October. It's just taking a lot longer to put together. So. All right, I don't see any questions. Thank you guys for hanging out. Hopefully you guys make this, and if you do, hashtag on Instagram, Tiffany's Quilting Life, or post it in the Facebook group, and I will see it. Hopefully see it. I mean, I still scroll sometimes, not all the time, but I will see it, and Scott likes to show me. So if you make this, show it off, and have fun. And this could be for Christmas, too. You can do Christmas, you can do fall,
Well, yeah,
anything.
you can do any fabric.
You can do any fabric.
You can do Halloween.
So this is just Halloween themed. All right, guys. See ya. Bye. I'm dragging this out. Blah, 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 blah. Toodles.
Hit the button, nothing's happening.
Because it wants me to stay on. Ha!